Hello, welcome to Virtual Learning Hub's presentation on the role of a care worker and principles. My name's Jasmine. Please can I ask if you can like, subscribe and comment on today's presentation. I hope that is helpful and is useful to you. So let's get started. Professional image. As a health and social care professional, it requires you to demonstrate a high level of responsibility. Society trusts you to work with some of its most vulnerable people and to have a mature and sensible attitude to your work. From time to time, high profile cases draw attention to and raise concerns about the behaviour of those who work in adult care. Whilst those who work in care are entitled to have a private life, it's inevitable that aspects of that life may spill over into the working environment. You should therefore consider what impact your off-duty behavior may have on your reputation, should I say, as a professional and the judgments people may rightly or wrongly make about them. Most people have an email, and the email address you choose for yourself can say a lot about you. So think about your email or the email that you're going to distribute to others. Some may have emails such as Fluffy Bunny, or it may contain sexual or discriminatory references, and these are inappropriate for a professional. If you feel that the need to have an email address other than your name, you might consider setting up a second email address for your professional correspondence. It has been well documented that social networking sites such as Facebook, YouTube, X, previously known as TikTok, or Twitter, should I say, and TikTok, are used by people searching for information about individuals. Despite the restrictions that users can put on their page, often these are inadequate and information about beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors can be assessed or accessed by those choosing to look for it. Most of us have seen or heard jokes and passed them on. You should, however, consider what might be appropriate, should I say, to share. Jokes sometimes can often be made at the expense of minority groups, or if passed on, can conclude into areas of discrimination. So please be sure that when you sharing information such as a joke, that is appropriate at all times. Professional relationships are based on friendliness towards, but not necessarily friendship with those you care for. You should consider the challenges and dilemmas of maintaining a professional distance from those you care for and support while working closely in partnership with them. Like Pandora's box, once you have released information to the world, it cannot be withdrawn. This is through videos, through sharing information, pictures. While no one expects those who work in health and social care to be perfect, they are expected to maintain standards and consider consequences of what they say, do, and think, so that their relationship or your relationship with the individual that you care for, colleagues, visitors, and others, remains professional at all times. I'd like you at some point to take a short activity or conduct a short activity. Look at your email address or your social network page and try and put your name into a search engine. Consider what an employer might assume about you from what they can find. What impressions might another professional get if they did that same search? Managing complaints. It's rare for there to be a complaint about things that happen within the setting, but relatives, carers, or individuals may well express a concern. Whatever the person calls it, the issue should be treated seriously and properly addressed. When dealing with individuals, carers, or relatives with concerns or complaints, give them time to talk to you and listen to what you have to say or what they have to say. Remembering back to the presentation I gave on communication, that is two ways. Wait until they have actually finished talking before replying. Don't interrupt. Be encouraging, make eye contact, and nod your head from time to time. Be polite at all times and treat individuals and visitors with the same courtesy that you would like to be extended to you. Never treat individuals or visitors like naughty children because they are human. And you should be patient, gracious, and provide them with information that will help with their concern. When dealing with an irate or angry person, stay purposely calm. Be assertive but not aggressive in response to their anger. You can say things such as, you're obviously upset about this, and I will go and find someone to speak to you. Try to ensure that someone who is upset is given privacy as a matter of priority. Do not leave someone crying in a public place. Offer them a space that you can go to give them this privacy. You may also offer them a cup of tea or coffee and call for someone to come and see them. If possible, do not leave them alone. Comfort them in any way you feel able and appropriate. Correcting errors. Carers and relatives form opinions based upon the information they are given. Sometimes that information is incorrect or incomplete. When they make a complaint, it's very important that there are no errors and that if there are errors, they are corrected. However, this should be done in such a way that the person making the complaint retains their dignity and self esteem. Be honest. When a person criticizes your practice, do not be defensive or retaliate. Calmly explain the reasons for a particular action or policy and listen to the person's concerns. However, it's important that an apology is given if appropriate and no attempt is made to cover up any mistakes. If you are open and transparent in your investigations, it will go a long way to restoring a trusting relationship with the person making the complaint. An effective system. It is inevitable that things will go wrong from time to time, as previously mentioned. So, what is important? It's important that the individual, carer, or relatives find it easy to register their concern. Concerns are welcomed and acted on and not ignored or brushed off. That there are effective systems that exist to put things right. Apologize when you're to put things right, and or if someone's put in a complaint to be resolved. An apology can go a long way. Often all that's what the person requires. They just need to hear that you're listening to them and that you can try and look into it further for them. An explanation. So a good full explanation can often quickly clear up concerns. Assurance that something will be happen again, but something may not happen again, but this may be backed up by action and monitoring. And then action, showing that the setting has taken the complaint seriously and which sends out a positive message to the individual or the person that's receiving, and that it's worth expressing a concern that they are worried or they are dissatisfied about. So, skills to managing and resolving conflict. Everyone, whatever their age, experiences conflicts. The ability to resolve conflicts is a skill that must be learned and practiced, and some people develop this skill better than others. So, let's look at 4 key stages to manage and resolve conflicts. You could try the ability to successfully manage and resolve conflict depends on 4 key skills. Together, these 4 skills form a fifth skill that is greater than the sum of its part. The ability to take conflict in stride and resolve differences in ways that build trust and confidence. So let's look at the first one. Remain relaxed. If you do not know how to stay centered in control of yourself, you may become emotionally overwhelmed in challenging situations. If you have another individual, for example, who is very angry and you match that anger, you can lose control of the situation. So remaining calm allows you to be able to communicate more effectively. Recognize and manage your emotions. Emotional awareness is the key to understanding yourself and others. If you do not know how to feel or why you feel that way, you won't be able to communicate effectively or smooth over any kinds of disagreements. Be aware and improve nonverbal communication skills. The most important information exchanged during conflicts and arguments is often communicated nonverbally. Nonverbal communication includes eye contact, facial expressions, tone of voice, posture, touch, and gestures. If appropriate, use humor and play to deal with the challenges. You can avoid many confrontations and resolve arguments and disagreements by communicating in a playful or humorous way. However, it's important that you laugh with the other person, not at them. Support for your own learning. Formally, you can use formal sources of support for you as a practitioner in your own learning and development, which might include a written agreement between the practitioner and their employer, the practitioner and their colleague, or other training providers. Information sources of support for practitioners with your own learning and development might include offers of support from colleagues. It could also be on the job training or on on an on to day-to-day basis, access to the settings training resources, informal arrangements from time out for duties to study when ratio permits. Supervision is usually considered to be a regular occurrence with meetings between you as a practitioner and your line manager. It also involves general day to day issues that are discussed and you receive feedback given on your progress or achievements or concerns that you may have had. Appraisals are important. Appraisals are usually considered to be more formal and less frequent events. Effective appraisals provide an opportunity for both you and the employer to discuss past achievements and challenges as well as future training needs. Within the organization, as a practitioner in your own organizational setting, there may be a number of people other than the line manager and setting manager who support your learning and development. These may include designated members of staff responsible for safeguarding, equality and diversity, special needs, health and safety, etc. In addition to formal support from a colleague or training provider, practitioners may also find support for their own learning and development from career advisors, charities, local authorities, or private training companies. So, I'm setting you another activity to do in your own time. Make a list of who is currently supporting your learning development. Who else might you be able to get to help you develop your skills and knowledge as a health and social care practitioner? And beside each name or organisation, make a note of their contact details and what help they could offer. A duty of